My father is a teacher. I always wanted to teach, so it was one of the reasons I got my master's degree, because I wanted to come back and teach someday. It took about 35 years, but eventually it worked out. Probably the biggest surprise was working for Disney. I remember growing up with all things Disney, but I really had never been to Disneyland or Disney World until I was, I don't know, probably in my early 30s. I was not necessarily a Disney freak, so the Disney thing was probably a surprise in terms of my career. Certainly being there 26 years was. I was fortunate to do projects on 3 continents. I worked on Disneyland Paris, I worked on Hong Kong Disneyland, did lots of things at Walt Disney World. But I think my greatest pride is the Disney Magic, which is the Disney's first ship. I had never worked on a ship before, so it was something that was new and completely different. The ship was built just outside of Venice, Italy. I love Italy, so it gave me an opportunity to live there for quite a while, and it was an enormous challenge, but in the end, it was probably the most satisfying thing that I was able to do at Disney. You know, as far as Penn State preparing me, I think one of the most valuable experiences, well, really 2 things. One was the ability to stay up all night and work and be semi-coherent the next day, because that certainly served me well in my professional career. But the other thing was really study abroad, was probably the most important thing maybe that I've done in my life. Not so much what I learned in studio, maybe I shouldn't say that, but it was much more about learning about a different culture, and that the American way wasn't the only way. And I really fell in love with not just Italy, but traveling, foreign experiences. And when I left Penn State, one of the things I wanted to do was to do international work, which fortunately my career at Disney allowed me to do a lot of that.